I think there are pros and cons of having children close together or with an age gap. I have 4 children, and there's roughly a 4-year age gap between each child. My sister and her fiance have 6 children, all between the ages of 10 and 2. I think that the age gap can be really nice sometimes because your children go through these phases at different times of life. But at the same time, there are some benefits to them going through the stages together. Like imagine having 2 children teething at the same time. That would be completely unbearable if you have 2 screaming, crying children that you can't do very much to help. But at the same time, once the teething stage is done, you're over it, you move on. Whereas with the age gap, you get that relief of not doing it at the same time, but at the same time, depending on your age gap, you could be dealing with one child teething and getting over teething, and now you're dealing with the second child going through the same phase. When you have an age gap, your children can peer model for each other and set an example for the younger children to follow. But at the same time, if your children are close in age, you could teach them together instead of teaching one and then turning around and having to teach the same thing to the other child. It could be like, hey, we're going to learn to potty train. I'm potty training 2 kids at once rather than potty training the other and then turning around and potty training the next right after. Since my husband and I have been together, we have been consistently buying diapers. Every time with the 4-year age gap, once one kid was transitioning out of potty training, here we are having another and right back into diapers. Whereas with kids close in age, you might be buying diapers in bulk, big bulk, regularly, weekly, daily, whatever it may be. But then, you do that for a couple years and then you're out of it and you're done and you're moving forward. With the age gap, I have the advantage of taking one child's clothes, packing them away, and then when the next child gets in that stage, bringing them out again. Whereas with children close in age, you can buy, the kids one size clothes, and, if they're similar in size, they can share clothes. But once they go up a size, you got a lot more clothes to buy. So really, I guess it's just whatever works for you and your family. For me, I prefer the age gap, but I can also understand why people would prefer to have their children close in age.